Is my screen visible? Great. So thank you very much everyone for joining in. My name is Akshay and I am currently pursuing MBA from Soil Institute of Management. I'm in the PGPM 1-year course and it's been 5 months in the course till now. And today we'll be talking about designing your career in HR. And with us, we have Professor Arja Chakravarti, who is the program chair for Human Resource Management course. And a little about Ms. Chakravarti. She has an experience of over 27 years and she has worked in various companies in leadership roles in human resource, be it automobile or be it manufacturing industry or be it a BPO. And she was with Hindustan Motors, she was with Genpact, she was with Godrej, and what we personally like to call her is a rock star. She is a musician, she sings, she is absolutely like, she's a go-to faculty and we can walk up to her anytime we want. So she's one such kind of human being that we are lucky to have, and I'm sure and Soil is lucky to have her. So without further ado, I am requesting Miss Arja Chakravarti to take over and introduce her further, and then we'll take it forward from there. Over to you, Arja ma'am.
Thank you so much, Akshay. Uh, uh, we will talk about your rockstar, areas later. Hopefully, we'll have time for that. And thank you so much, whosoever is joining this webinar from different parts of the country. Thank you for being there, trying to take your career into the next leap, and trying to evaluate various colleges, various programs, so that you can progress in your career and make a choice which is really good for you and takes you to a great life and good leadership roles. So thank you for that. A little about me is that I joined Soil 7 years ago. And prior to that, in my initial part of the career, after I graduated, after I did my MBA from IIM Bhubaneswar, I worked in various HR roles in various organizations for about 11 years. And I shifted to consulting, teaching, and research, and it's been 17 years. And what I really like about my role is that I get a chance to influence a lot of young mind like yours to be able to make a great career choice and be in charge of your life and your own views about how to really contribute and change businesses and people around you. Akshay, maybe we can stop the slide deck. Is there? Yeah, okay, great, yeah. And so the task given to me today is to talk about how to build an HR career. Many of the students usually ask me about what should be a choice. My answer is very simple. You do a business management course to be able to understand business in the first go. And it's important to therefore understand all aspects of the business, which is the organizational structure, the strategy, the various other functions, the product, the way the product is sold, the talent in the organization, how do you manage your own finances, operations, processes, people, everything, okay? So this is, you learn this through various different subjects in your management curriculum. HR is a part of this. And why do you do HR? Because today we feel that, talent is a very important resource which creates the competitive advantage for organizations. Organizations today uh, build up their business models based on the uniqueness that their talent bring to the organization or bring to the table. Having said that, why should you be doing HR today? In the current context, we see that there's a huge challenge for businesses because of COVID, because of the pandemic, because of various others geopolitical situation. It's very important today to rethink, reimagine, and perhaps in some ways restart HR. HR, to be explained simply, is how do you manage, engage, retain your talent? How do you ensure that you have the best talent for the business that you are in? And how do you ensure this talent of yours feels engaged to be able to perform? How do you create a culture? How do you create an environment to ensure that they are able to take your business to the next level? Of course, we are also talking about a reciprocal relationship where the organization ensures that their talent really grows and develops so that this mutual connectivity, this mutual reciprocal relationship is taken on to the next level. The more I grow, the more I'll be able to contribute. The second most important thing about HR today is how do you create a culture in an organization that works in the current challenges, which is perhaps a change in the workplace itself, the hybrid workplace. In some cases, it's remote, in some cases, physical, in some cases, hybrid. So, how do you manage an organization which straddles this entire change in the nature of workplace? How do you manage work itself? Because work itself today has changed in various formats. Lots of jobs have become redundant, and there are lots of new jobs which have happened because of the advent in technology, because of the way we can capture more data today, or the way in which our businesses have changed in developing various business models. And of course, all this is prompted by the fact that the products, the services that we use have changed, uh, because of the lifestyle. So there's a huge challenge for HR managers, for HR to be able to really rethink about what really can create an effect in the organization, that you are able to be an employer brand which attracts the best talent. This is where HR is hinged today. Of course, there are many other challenges, one of them being the fact that um, your population today has 5 generations in them, out of which all 5 are employable, I feel, but 4 of them are certainly there at your workplace. The baby boomers, the Gen X, the millennials, and the Gen Z have just entered the workplace. How do you ensure that all of them are able to relate to the work that they do? They feel engaged. Uh, we have seen a lot of changes in the recent times, and that have become habit forming. So therefore, what kind of policies, processes, culture can really work for your organization? So there's a diversity in terms of the generations who are at the workplace. There's also diversity in terms of gender, race, caste, age, so on and so forth. And it's important to keep this in mind because your talent can come from any of these, diversity pools. Also, the fact that the more you engage with different and diverse, uh, you know, people uh, who belong to diverse cognition, diverse geographical areas, diverse race and cultures, you create a culture in which a person can bring their authentic self to the organization. What does that do? It means that I am comfortable with who I am, as comfortable as I am at my own home, at my workplace, I'm comfortable. And that really takes away all the barriers out of me to be able to perform, to be able to really bring out my talent and show up in a way that I can contribute to the organization. Many other factors, but these are certainly some factors in the way that HR has to really relook at what they are doing in terms of their strategy, the way they, bring out policies and processes, and hit the ground running. So, what are we doing at Soil? Soil is a 1-year accelerated program. It's a 1-year management course, and the HR leadership program is a deep dive into all topics, courses, skills required for HR. How do we do this? The soil philosophy is about uh, bringing in wholesome education, a way to really understand your own strengths and build on those strengths to be able to develop your uniqueness when you contribute to business. This entire transformation journey is embedded in the 5 pillars of Soil, which are mindfulness, sustainability, diversity, ethics, and compassion. The entire 1-year journey interweaves this into your curriculum. So therefore, uh, whether it is the wellness course or it is the social innovation program where you work with NGOs and relate to the cause and deliver, whether it is our learning retreat in the Himachal Pradesh in an ashram, or it is the theater workshop, the happiness workshop, all of these are blended in your curriculum to build up character, competence, and enthusiasm. You first have to be aware about everything that you need to learn. So, your skills, competencies, knowledge. Once you are aware, you should be able to care to be able to make a difference, care to be able to bring out your authenticity, your uniqueness, and contribute and relate to the various challenges in the world around you, not just in your organizations, but in your communities, where you stay, in your families, everywhere. Because once you become a leader who is able to understand himself or herself, you will transform, or you will have the capability to transform everything around you in a very positive direction. And therefore, once you're aware, you should therefore be caring. Once you care, you should be able to dare, because you can have a lot of competence. But if you do not dare, and if you do not take on challenges, and if you're not somebody who is willing to take those risks in today's businesses, in today's work, uh, you might not be the best version of yourself uh, who can really lend that edge to your own entrepreneurship venture or to the business or wherever you are working. The HR at Soil has a legacy. What is this legacy? Our founder, Anil Sachdev, uh, built a company called Grow Talent Consulting, which did cutting edge work in HR and strategic consulting for a very long time. So with Anil in our midst and a whole pool of consultants who have worked in various different consulting assignments, we already have a built-in pool to understand HR in its, in its deepest form, okay, below the iceberg. We have the support of about 32 consortium companies, and we learn from them on a continuous basis, trying to understand what are the changes these organizations are going through, and therefore, how do we build up on our competencies and skills for students so that they match up to the immediate requirement in these organizations. And the third is the fact that, therefore, we have access to a very large community of HR practitioners, consultants, and we truly believe that to be able to teach business, we need faculty who can bring their own experience and real life examples to the class, real life and very, very contextual, contemporary today's examples to the class. And who better than consultants who are already working on such challenges right now? We at SOIL have very carefully thought out a curriculum in which we have built in learner-centric design. It is a lot about the student and how the student has been able to, just a second, yeah, okay. How the student understands his or her learning journey at SOIL, okay? More about that if you have a question. And we also believe in a learning which is very active. It's not a passive lecture pedagogy that we have. It is a very self-determined learning by the students, getting to choose projects, sometimes their own case studies, and sometimes even helping us to design the course so that they are, first of all, they deserve to have this learning. And second, they're very much aligned to what their needs are and what the curriculum is, helping them to understand in terms of knowledge, skills, and abilities. We have various other programs like the mentoring program, which is based on a behavioral event interviews, and your individual development plan is built in so that you can have an internal mentor at SOIL and an external mentor from the corporate world to be able to guide you on the chosen path of your development. So you choose the areas that you really want to pay attention to apart from the curriculum, and we guide you to be able to move on to that next level. The reason we truly believe, and I truly believe, that this one-year program is not just about a campus placement. It is not just about the job. It is about the job in your minds, but at the same time, let me tell you that based on the curriculum that I went through, that the MBA that I went through, I have been working in this field based on that degree. So therefore, it's important that our students align themselves to be able to understand that this 1 year is a very, very focused, deep dive, enhancing, and very, very involved journey with SOIL, the faculty, your peers, your classmates, and so on and so forth. Now, having said that, what do we do? Okay, how are we doing on the time? Okay, I have a little more time. In the first term, and if you divide the first term, say in about 2 pieces, in the initial first term, after the induction, where you are made familiar with the ways at SOIL, you are given an understanding about all the core courses which relate to business in an organization, which means It is about marketing, finance, accounting, operations, BRM, business research methodology, and all the courses that are necessary for you to build in your understanding about how does an organization function. Once we do that, we bring you in what we call in HR as a hire to retire life cycle, which is you learn about the functions like talent acquisition, learning and development, total rewards management, performance appraisal, engagement, so on and so forth. Okay. And in the second term, there's a deeper dive to take these topics onto the next level, which is HR analytics. We get a lot of new roles in HR in analytics. We have, a full course, 2 courses to train you on that. We get a lot of new roles in HR tech. Infosys recently has brought one such role to the campus. We have a lot of startups coming in and wanting our students to take up these roles, where they not only bring in an understanding of technology, but they are also able to understand the business of the startup and perhaps do a lot of project management. So the HR roles are changing. And what we do in the second and third term is bring subjects which takes you to an understanding of such business models, requirements, of such businesses. And so therefore, these subjects are HR analytics, the new role of HR, AI tools in HR, this is digital workplaces, then on learning organizations, crafting learning organizations, and of course, I also teach a course on gender and diversity, because these are important conversations to have as you take up the role of an HR leader. We get a lot of startups in our for our placements, so it's important for us to build in a curriculum where our students are able to join these organizations, be ready for those roles, apart from the HR generalist, HR BP, tech roles, and the roles on the function, which is talent acquisition, rewards and management, or total rewards as we call it. They should also be prepared to take in the new roles which are in tech HR. For example, a lot of organizations would want you to do dashboarding. They would want you to take, or perhaps design systems in which you can be an excellent online, you can do online induction. Having looked at these roles, we design the second term, third term, with these roles in mind, and these courses impart those special skills and competencies in our students. And Akshay may be able to add in something, but the way we look at our classrooms is highly interactive. We want to be able to address a lot of development areas which are one-on-one. Therefore, we have smaller batches, and we are able to spend more time with them in this 1 year and be able to groom them up for a good HR career. So this is in brief about what we do at SOIL. The challenge that we face each year is about asking ourselves what is happening in our environment, in the world outside, which we are not discussing in the classes. And so therefore, the various clubs, the conference, the internal conference, the SOIL conference that we have, and a lot of dialogues by senior leadership who come to the campus is about these topics. So that in brief, I think is about what I wanted to say about SOIL and the curriculum. And if there are questions, then I would like to take that up, and maybe at the end, Akshay can come in and talk about his experience also.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, we have a question from Mehek, and the question is the college UGC approved or AICTE approved?
We are not, we don't come under the regulation of AICTE or UGC. We have been in this program for about 15 years. We are heavily invested in terms of our own expertise. Um, we have a separate institution, which is 4 years old, which is our uh, School of Business Design in Manesar, which is a 2 years course. It is AICTE approved. For this 1 year program, accelerated program, we invite students who have some amount of work experience and who are wanting to change gears and get into the fast growth in about 1 year. So that's where we are. Having said that, we have a lot of collaborations with similar minded institutions, which is Milan Polytechnico. We have a huge collaboration with Shizukan in Japan, which is a very similar institute led by Tomonoda-san. We have a lot of collaborations with Royal Roads, Canada. Uh, so these are some of the collaborations that we have. And our curriculum is based on feedback that we get from our advisory board and the organizations. That's who we are. Having said that, if your question is, does it land you up into issues? Please check up what you want to do, because most of our students have been able to go ahead with the higher studies, are working across the world and haven't faced anything as such. So therefore, we really, uh, you know, haven't come across any such issues.
Thank you, ma'am. And to all the attendees, anyone who is having any questions, please feel free to mention it in the chat box or in the question and answer section. Ma'am, the next question that we have is from Shivam, and he said that, ma'am, I have interest in both HR and marketing, and even I do 3 months internship in both, and I enjoyed both. But, ma'am, everyone say there is less chance of growth in HR. Is it so, or is it a myth? And I want to do my 2 years specialization in HR.
Yeah, Shivam, right? You're
Yes.
most welcome, Shivam, to make your career choice, because I think, uh, let me just come back to the question, because I think
I,
once you make your choice, uh, but you put your mind to it. So if you want to do your 2 years, you want to do your 1 year, you have to, of course, check on which one is applicable to you. I'm sure you will have your, heart, mind, soul invested in the program. So decide on that very carefully. In terms of HR or marketing, uh, the most important thing is that you should understand both. Otherwise, you will not be able to climb up the ladder or take up more responsible positions. Are you somebody who likes marketing and want to take it up as a career in the long term? If so, of course, choose marketing. If you want somebody to choose HR and think that you are made for HR, you can contribute a lot, please do choose HR. Growth path in both, I think, are similar, because in an organization, we still have people who have been head of HR and head of marketing take up CEO roles, lead a business. Vice versa, a lot of CEO have stepped into HR roles to understand their internal talent better, or the way they manage their talent and engage the talent much better. So I think it's a myth. It completely depends upon your energy, your understanding of the role, your ability to deal with the challenges in an uncertain world, and care for people and processes.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The next question that we have is, what is Soil's view on teaching in terms of work experience for admission?
Okay, please get in touch with my admissions office to understand what exactly are you trying to ask. If you can type in Subesh's number, Akshay, that will be great on the chat. Uh, we, of course, look for students who have work experience. We, howsoever, do admit students who are freshers, but who have been exceptional in their educational records, or have been exceptional in the field of sports, or in some other creative performing arts. And we think that such students bring in a lot of diversity and add on to the class. So we are open, and you will have to check in terms of your background and what exactly are you looking for.
Ma'am, the next question we have is wanted to know about soils placement. What is the minimum package offered?
Okay, again, for the recent updates, please get in touch with Salman or the admissions office, and they can update you on the recent averages. I could safely say that, and Akshay can talk about it, that if you come with an X salary, it is certainly 2X for you from the job that you get at Soil. The averages have been around 10 lakhs. This year's average, current average, we have the placement process going on. So Akshay has been placed. Akshay, what is your, yeah.
So I have recently been placed with Genpact in talent acquisition role in HR. And believe me when I say this, ma'am has just mentioned the salary hike is approximately 2x. But for me, it has been more than 2x. And I feel very glad and I'm very happy that I took the decision of joining Soil uh, because it has changed my life upside down. And one thing that I wanted to add is that each and every, you will get the knowledge from every MBA college. But what's different with Soil is, I'll quote this in Hindi, आपको इंसान बनना सिखाते हैं. And this is one very, very, very special thing about Soil. They want you to become the inspiring leader. And that's the name, School of Inspired Leadership. And it is actually true. So this is what I wanted to add if I talk about Soil.
Thank you, Akshay. Yeah. I can see the question answers, and there are some questions on saying, does Soil provide 2-year MBA program in HR? Yes, we have 2 institutions, one in Gurgaon, which is called the School of Inspired Leadership Gurgaon. And we have another institution, which is in Manesar, right at the IMT Manesar Chowk. It has a 2-year MBA program with all the specializations. And somebody, I think Aditya is asking for freshers. Should we opt for 1-year or 2-year program? Aditya, it completely depends on what your resume is. Where have you studied? What have you done? And so please get in touch with our admission office. They should be able to look at your resume and advise you much better than me giving you a blank statement by saying choose this. What's the student strength of Soil in the present batch? We have 105 students. I want to pursue PGPM HR. Okay, one more. There was one more. Okay, about placements we just spoke about. So in terms of placements in HR, we get a lot of large companies. Name the largest company in India. We get a lot of startups also. The roles that come in are mostly HR generalist, HR BP, talent acquisition roles. A lot of recent roles has been on the cusp of tech HR and data and HR. That is the new avatar of Soil, because even when we did not have too much of tech and data, I still remember doing a lot of calculations on my, on my manpower planning or on the records of my employees. So the role of HR requires you to have your hands on the numbers, which is how many people you have, what are the trainings which are happening, and various kinds, okay, on the background of these people. With the help of technology and softwares, we are able to therefore look at larger organization, put this data in various buckets, and interpret the data to understand what else can be done. And these are techniques which you need to learn in HR. And so, some of our courses do address this. Um, about placement, okay. So let me tell you that if you are expecting that just by coming into soil or just by getting an MBA program, you will get a job and that's your only intention, you might not be on the correct path. So just speak to a few of our alumni or alumni from any other colleges and try to understand, how do you build a career which keeps you invested, interested, contributing for a long term? And accordingly, therefore, think about placements from that perspective. Yeah, okay. I can go on and on. So let me just handle the other questions also. Ma'am, is the college helping in getting an education loans because fees is higher side? Yes, it helps you to get the education loan. And you can talk to our admissions office. They'll help you to understand how this can be done. What are the prerequisites for the role of organization development or employer branding role? Now, Rahul, these roles do not come in such clear terms by saying, okay, we want an employer, somebody who does employer branding or somebody who does OD, because OD, the way we call it, organization development, is a process which is very strategic in nature. It is what we call as a change which is transformational, which touches all corners of the organization. The roles that come in are the HR generalist, HR BP, manager HR, and such roles. Howsoever, within these roles, you might be doing work which is based on employer branding and OD. Now, how? Supposingly, as an HR generalist or somebody who are doing a talent acquisition role, the first point of contact of anybody who is wanting to apply in your organization is a space for you to create employer branding. How do you, all of you know customer experience, okay? You go onto a website, you have a certain customer experience and you say, wow, this, is so good, okay? How do they ever do that? In a similar manner, you need to create an employee wow experience. And the point of contact that you have with your employees, each of them are a space for you to create an employer branding. So therefore, it's important to understand these topics and, work along with them.
And we have two questions from Jhalak. She says, I wanted to pursue PGPM HR. If you could explain more about it. And do we need to clear CMAT for admission in PGPM HR? I think she wanted to write NMAT or CAT. I'm not sure.
We have our own admission process, Zalak. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. I had a student by the name of Jhalak, and you are Zalak. Nice. So, Zalak, we, have our own entrance test in which it's a simple test in which we You undertake a test on, nonverbal test of intelligence, psychometry. We do a simulation, and we have a GD and our own interviews. So each year the placement process gears up in a way in which they are able to admit students who are, uh, who are high in their understanding of being able to put in the efforts to take their career into the next level. Now, that's very important because in a one-year course, you require higher energy and you require good amount of, you know, physical, mental, emotional energy to be able to deal with it.
Uh, we have we have a question. What are the difference between 1 year and 2 year program in HR? If I don't hold a prior corporate work experience, I do certainly hold experience for teaching of 3.5 years.
Oh, okay. Nice, Saurav.
I'm sorry.
Saurav, we have two teachers in our last batch, uh, and both of them have done well in their careers. Uh, so Ahana was a teacher, and Pratik, right? Pratik was the teacher. Yeah. And so therefore, it's important that if how are you viewing your change in the career? If you're viewing it just because it's a popular choice and everybody around you seems to be doing an MBA, I would say that your heart will not be in your career. But if you're choosing it because you really think that as a person, you have a space and a special understanding of how you contribute to human resource management, do join, such courses. Have I answered the question correctly? Okay, how do I?
Ma'am, we have another question. Hello, ma'am. As you are from
Did I
XIMB.
answer?
Oh, yes, I think.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Akshay.
The question is, hello, ma'am. As you are from XIMB HRM, as last year I converted XIMB HRM as well as some other as well as some other colleges. As
Mhm.
Soil PGPM HRM is 1 year course, so I am interested on fast-paced learning. So can you suggest something on that? So
Anonymous attendee. Okay.
Indeed. I think I think they want to know uh, XIMB or soil 1 year or 2 year.
Yeah, it's completely your choice. Um, and also, I'll answer both the questions, which is what the difference between 1 year and 2 years HRM. It's your choice completely. You have the websites, you have the alumni to speak to. You can speak to them, figure out, is it a 1 year suitable for you? Is 2 years suitable for you? And it's a decision for you to take. Both the organizations are amazing organization. I am who I am because I studied in XIMB. I am who I am today because of soil. So and because the smile on my face is all about my students having done well in their career, because that's the ultimate test for who we are. In the 1 year curriculum, we do about uh, 800 hours in classroom, which is about, you can each course is about 25 to 30 hours. So you can divide and you can check out how many courses, and equal amount outside the classroom, which is leadership talks, workshops, field work, uh, project work, teamwork, a lot of such, assignments and work allocated. Having said that, in the 2 year program, uh, I hope you heard me when I spoke about how the 1 year program at SOIL is structured. In the 2 year program, the first year is always common for all students joining the program. In the second year, you get to choose your electives. And because you have more time, You can choose HR as well as something else in which you want to do a minor or something, you know, uh, that you just want to pay attention to. In soil, the 1 year program takes you through an HR journey and everything else related to be able to put you into a good HR role. So therefore, to be able to do that, we have to cover everything that we do in 2 years. At the same time, be highly focused on how to build those skills, competencies, and knowledge. So what we also do require from the student is that the students have to be willing to engage in this 1 year with us, so that the knowledge transfer, the skill transfer is complete. Uh, Otherwise, it's like you come in half-heartedly, and no wonder how good the program is. You might not be able to imbibe or internalize what we do. So that's how it is. And yeah.
We have another question from Zalak. She is asking, what is HR data or HR tech or HR analysis, and which we learn into curriculum from soil?
Okay. And there's also somebody who says how much batch size
That
for 1
size
year
for
in
1 year
HR
HR
program.
program.
Yeah, depending on the number of good applications that we get, or we don't really, kind of have a number in mind, but we stop when we feel that uh, we are not able to find the right kind of choices. So usually an HR class is sometimes 30, 35 to 40. And Zalak was asking about okay, what was the question from Zalak again, Akshay?
So we wanted to know, what do we teach in soil,
Huh.
and what is HR analytics, or what is HR
Oh,
data, what is
yeah,
HR tech?
okay. So with the advent of technology, all the processes that we used to do, in a physical format, say, or in a pen and paper format, for example, talent acquisition or performance appraisal, or rewards management, calculating compensation. Now, all of these, with the advent of technology, have become more digitalized, okay, or digitized, because of which the entire work is done on digital platforms and on software. The second thing which we understand from HR data is that we have two kinds of data mostly. One is about the customer data, the other is about the employee data. What is employee data? It's not just about your attendance, but it is about uh, what have been, the number of times that you have handled uh, emergency situation. How many learnings have you taken up on your own? How do you handle your team? How many times did you have escalations? Or, what is it that you have done in terms of stretch assignments? How many such stretch assignments have you been doing? What have been your rating on such assignments? Or what have been your rating in performance appraisal? So there's a lot of data on your employees, which is generated, and related data. So now this is HR data. The roles today have a mix of technology, which helps you to understand data and makes you more efficient in terms of quickly responding to any challenges, being able to create a better policies and processes, because you have the data in front of you, you know which policies are working, whatever. And it also helps you to kind of understand what is the next level of work that should be done with your employees, so that you have a great culture and a great environment where your employees can be productive and can work in the areas that they are. So HR tech, HR data, HR analytics. When you analyze your data, that is data analytics, okay? Apart from this, tech also involves a lot of AI, robotics, machine learning, and we have to understand how some of these, when integrated in a good process, actually brings the organization up to speed. Why are these important? It's I cannot imply how important it is today when we are looking at hybrid workplaces. It always was important, but with the nature of hybrid workplaces, with the nature of our businesses, uh, which have spread across the world, where we source material from a company in Korea or in Philippines and create a product here, export it to Africa. All of these have made our organizations more complex. To handle all of these complexity, of course, the complexity lends to better business. To handle all of these complexity, we need to be able to have the best of the technology. No longer a question of technology or no technology, but what is the best technology for the business model that you have. So it's important to be able to understand all of these aspects and you know integrate it with your HR knowledge, basics of HR knowledge. So basics, facts, uh, theory, frameworks, brought onto a practical understanding of how are they working in organizations today with the help of case studies, simulations, projects. And then once you are hands on this kind of a simulation or this kind of practical examples, you should be able to do a live project in which you actually practice that. This journey makes you more ready to be able to shift gears in your career.
Ma'am, we've received another question from Rahul, and the question is, what are the qualities or credentials you look into a potential candidate during the admission procedure or in personal interview?
Okay. So Rahul, uh, you know, the importance that we pay to the candidate who's applying to soil is uh, genuineness in terms of who you are and what you bring to the table. Being able to accept oneself is very important because as you go ahead with any course, you will also understand that learning is a lot about coming from an authentic self, okay, to be able to take yourself to the next level. So it's important that you have the quality of self awareness. You're aware about who you are, what you bring to the table. You bring learning agility along with you, which is the fact that we're not expecting you to be the best, but we're expecting you to be able to mold yourself to be able to internalize the learning that we have. These are the most important qualities that we look for. Of course, good communication skills, uh, being able to relate yourself to your community, to your environment is important for us. It showcases us, about your strengths. And since we have Akshay today, he will reverberate the thought with me that we like students who bring in their creativeness, innovativeness, have passion for a certain art or a performing art or something, okay? Because that tells us that this person, when they put their heart onto something, will be able to flourish in it. So those are the qualities. Having said that, we sometimes get very ordinary students who have thought that they are very ordinary. We find them extraordinary because we just know that giving a chance can help them flourish in their career. You do not know it. We know it because we have been in this for quite some time. Akshay, would you like to add something here?
I think I absolutely agree with what you said. I so out of the 105 people, believe me when I say this, 50% of the people here are having one or the other talent in themselves, and it's such a diverse batch that we have. And it's absolutely outstanding the way you learn from people. I have an experience of 7 years in hospitality industry. I learn from people who are having 1 year of experience in some other industry, because that's completely new for me. And that is the beauty of MBA, or maybe a peer to peer learning. And at Soil, that it is actually, there's a lot of focus on that. You learn from authentic case studies which were written in 2000s, or uh, believe me when I say this, I've actually read those case studies when I was not even born. So those authentic case studies, you get to learn from the real incidents that have happened. So that is the beauty of the curriculum here. So till now the journey has been outstanding. I've been placed, and now Arja ma'am is my internal mentor as well, and she has guided me throughout, and I'm sure that she will be guiding me for the remaining time of my student life here. And I'm really looking forward to the next coming 6 7 8 months or whatever is left.
Thank you, Akshay. It's, I'm happy to hear that. Always happy to guide students
Absolutely.
because if I would not have had great professors, I would not be here today. So that's something that where I truly believe. And having said that, we have other faculty members in the program. We have our director, Dr. Vijaya. We have Anil himself, who guides you in HR. We, of course, have, we call him Professor A.N. Bhattacharya, we call him A&B, who teaches marketing, Dr. Das, who is our analytics guru. We have Nitika in finance, we have Gurveer in strategy. And I think each one of them are beautiful individuals who have had a practical work experience in corporate and who bring their unique learnings to the table. So at Soil, we have created an environment where you have access uh, to some good learning. Okay. If you are able to find your energy to be able to imbibe that, you can learn amazingly. So, it's completely your decision as to how you want to take up your career ahead. We have had amazing students. We have had students who have set up their own businesses, and there are plenty that you can find on our website or connect to our admissions office to understand who have been the rockstar entrepreneurs from our college. We have individuals who have not just done well in their careers, but are amazing personalities by themselves, who are amazing people. And when we, meet up with their parents, or when their parents come to us to do a parents' day, the parents come and says, we uh, really, really appreciate what happened to our, boy or our girl at Soil. So that's the philosophy at Soil. The philosophy is that uh, you, it's not just about knowing your area to study. It's about being able to accept who you are, your strengths, and also it's about doing, because if you know and you are a good being, you will contribute, you will be able to do that. So the reason we believe that we can create a transformation in your leadership and the way you approach your career is because we have a robust curriculum which dips you into all of these aspects, which kind of immerses you into all of these aspects. So we therefore call itself a 1 year learning journey. Okay.
So anybody else who has any questions, they can let us know. Arja ma'am will definitely take it up.
Yeah.
And
And Akshay, I would welcome any one of them who have such questions to come to Soil. It's very easy to meet me or meet Akshay or any one of us. Just come to the reception, tell us that you want to meet us. You're welcome to sit in any one of our classes. Anyway, my class is on the ground floor. So, you can walk into a class, sit in the class and just see whether you are getting interested in the topics of what we do at Soil. Do come here physically, check it out. It's an important decision you're making in your life. And you should have all data information while you do that. We can.
I think we do not have any further questions. So I would like to thank you, ma'am, for taking out time and meeting all of the prospect students. And I every day learn from you. And today, as like no other day, was always, it was another very interesting session with you. So thank you very much for that. And I would like to thank all the attendees who were here. What is the cutoff percentile? We have received the last question. What is the cutoff percentile?
We do not have a cutoff percentile because that's not the only parameter that we study. We look at your resume, we look at all the admission other criterion that we have, which is our own internal test. So it's not the CAT percentile or the MAT or any other percentile.
So in case any of you have any questions, you can reach out to Aja ma'am on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me. You can, like ma'am said, you can come down. You can come down to Soil Gurgaon and we can meet in person. And thank you very much, everyone, for taking out time and being here. Once again, thank you very much, Arja ma'am, for. Thank you. You're most welcome, Rohit. Rahul, and thank you, ma'am, Arja ma'am, for clarifying all the doubts and very insightful information about Soil and its PGPM HRN program.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you for doing this after a whole day of classes. So thank you.
So much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.